So you want to go to Las Vegas? Stick with me and I'll give you some tips on how to make it as cheap as possible if you're going on a budget. So you want to go to Las Vegas and you're on a budget, you're maybe going with some friends, maybe going with your significant other. I want to help you plan your trip to Vegas as cheaply, inexpensively, and budget-friendly as possible so that you have more money for shopping, more money to really be comfortable and enjoy yourself on your trip. Vegas is a great, wonderful, happy place, but there is a side to it where you can really get swindled, and I just want to help you guys out. Anyways, let's get started. All right, so tip number one is the booking process. So if you are flying from Canada, I have cat hair on my lip. So if you are flying from Canada, my number one tip is to fly through the United States. It literally pays to cross the border into the States and find the closest airport to you through the United States, because you will literally save yourself probably at least $400 just driving across the border and flying out of the closest airport possible to you. I'm going to give you an example. Now, when we look at flights out of YVR at Vancouver Airport, we see the prices at about $400-500 per person, and that's usually like just for flying. Now, if we book our flights out of Bellingham in Washington State, for example, which is like a 20-minute drive from our house, we will literally get flights from $89 per person to $150 per person tops. I think $150 is the highest we've ever paid for flights. That in itself, you're saving a ton of cash on your flights. So it really, really pays if you're able to cross the border and go down to the United States to fly to Vegas. You will see a significant difference in your costs. Now, we always book through Allegiant Air, and I have to say, it's not exactly the most fancy airline on planet Earth, so just bring your smartphone with you and plug in your headphones and just relax. They've got a good selection of drinks, they have a good selection of snacks and everything like that. All in all, I've had a good experience with Allegiant. You do have to pay for your bags, so this is another part of it where you need to be a little bit careful about what you pack, and if you can try and get everything into like one suitcase, that would be the cheapest way to do it. With the amount of money that you're saving, it really does pay for itself. So another part about the booking process is to book around pool season. Now, if you don't feel it completely necessary to be like out clubbing and like going to the pool parties and everything, if you book in between pool season in the wintertime, it's significantly cheaper. My husband and I, one Christmas, we literally got both of us for our flights and hotel. We paid $350 for both of us to go down for like 4 days. It was crazy. So it's always worth a shot to have a look at the off seasons. And another thing is to really consider going to Vegas Sunday to Thursday. Now, that's usually when my husband and I go, because we've been 17 times, and in some of those times we've gone on the weekends, and it was just chaos, like drunk people everywhere, and like it was just crazy busy everywhere. So we actually really enjoy going Sunday to Thursday because there's not so many people there. The strip isn't as busy and the malls and everything are a lot more quiet. So I just find people are a lot more tame Sunday to Thursday. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about is when you actually land at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas, there's one big thing I want to talk about is the taxi cabs. There's going to be a huge lineup to get into the taxis. Like, this lineup is a lineup that I have never seen before in my whole life. When you get in the cab driver is going to kind of feel you out. So don't tell them, even if it is your first time in Vegas, don't tell them it's your first time in Vegas, because you know what they're going to do is they're going to feel you out. They're going to see if you know where you're going or not. and they're gonna take you the long way to your hotel. When it's literally like a 10-minute drive, they're gonna take you for a 30-minute drive to your hotel. It's happened to us. Now we just tell the cab driver as soon as we get in the cab, can you please take us on the highway? That way the cab driver knows they know where they're going. I can't rip them off. And ever since, our cab rides have been like 10 to 15, maybe max $20. So just keep that in mind. Any taxi cabs that you get into, you need to be really clear about which way you want to go, or else they're going to take you on a ride. Literally on a ride. So the next thing I want to talk about is the hotel. Now, hotels are an entity within themselves. So my first suggestion is when you show up is to go sign up for a Total Rewards card or an M Life card, depending on where you're staying. That way, I find personally, the hotel pays better attention to you. And there are special lineups in the hotels for Total Rewards customers. For example, if you are signed up with their rewards program, they will treat you better, they'll give you better deals, and they'll give you discounts for booking next time. All the M Life and Total Rewards links are down below here for you guys to sign up. It's so important, you guys. You're gonna get treated 100 times better than if you were just a regular customer. So the next thing I want to talk about is when you get up to the teller at the hotel, you want to ask them if they have any room upgrades. And as cheap as you sound, just do it, trust me, because we were able to upgrade. For example, at the Wynn, we went from a standard room up to one of their really amazing suites for pretty much an extra $20 a night. So it's totally worth it, and if you want, you can slide a little $20 bill to the person at the teller there and say, hey, have you got any room upgrades for me? Trust me, it works. And especially if it's your birthday or like a special occasion, it's always worth a shot to ask them if there's an upgrade. We went there on our honeymoon and we were at the Mirage and they upgraded us and they left us some really nice gifts on the bed when we got there. So it was just really nice, and it's always good to let them know kind of what's going on so that they can kind of tailor to what you need. So my other suggestion when you get to the hotel to save money is ask the front desk if they can bring up a fridge. Yes, there are mini fridges, and it's so super convenient. And this is going to be the key part that leads into my next tip. Food. I am not much of a foodie. I do like to eat, but I'm a vegetarian and there's a lot of restrictions on my diet. It was kind of funny because once I became a vegetarian, I realized how much Vegas can actually really rip you off in terms of food, because I'm only really ordering like salads and stuff like that and like bread. So I realized that there was a way of eating in Vegas that was a lot cheaper and easier and everything. So I have to say, getting that mini fridge was a game changer for us, because we figured out that we were able to save a whole ton of money with snacks and everything, and you know, $10 here, $10 there to get a snack at Starbucks, a snack here, a snack there. It can turn into like $20, $30 just to get a snack somewhere. And that's where Vegas kind of gets you, is the snacks and the like little treats and in between meals kind of things. What we do is we will go to the local corner store as soon as we get to Vegas. We get our mini fridge, we get up to our room, we get settled, we go to the corner store like an AM PM or something down the street, or Walgreens, and we will load up on snacks so that we are able to eat kind of in those weird in-between times and save money. That is a huge money saver. What's great is I can pack some fruit in my bag, I can pack a yogurt and stuff like that and just eat that while we're walking down the strip. Now, another thing about saving money, I guess this could be considered food as well, is with alcohol, we will always go and grab like a 2.6 of vodka and stick it in our mini fridge. That way you're not, again, stopping and buying drinks here and there. And if we want to just pack a drink to go, you know, when we're heading out for the day, we'll get like a pop bottle and just fill it with a little vodka, and then that way we have a drink to kind of walk up and down the strip with. And that saves a ton of money as well, because you're not purchasing alcohol at all of these different stops. And that again is where Vegas is going to get you, is with the drinks. It's like $20 for a drink here. One time in Caesar's Palace, it was $30 for a vodka Diet Coke. It was ridiculous. So it makes me sound like a bit of an alcoholic, but it really helps us save a ton of money when we're in Vegas. We will go to the south outlets and the north outlets first before doing any shopping on the strip. I will always go check out the outlets first and then save a little bit for shopping on the strip because there are some special things on the strip that you can't find anywhere else. Another thing is if you're getting any kind of memorabilia for your family and friends, any of those, you know, the famous Las Vegas shirts and shot glasses and mugs and all of that. Honest to God, we went that Christmas I just told you about. We went at Christmas and I was like, I'll just get a bunch of mementos for my family for Christmas. The prices of those mementos on the strip were like insane. And if you want to get like a Las Vegas shirt or a mug or shot glass or any kind of things like that, my number one tip is to go to Fremont Street. Just head down to Fremont Street, and I'm not even kidding you guys. I found the same shirts, the same mugs, the same shot glasses on Fremont Street for about 1/8 of the price of what they were on the strip. So if you want to get any kind of gifts or anything like that, any clothing that has Las Vegas on it, take the time to go down to Fremont Street. It will be way, way, way cheaper. But yeah, it's just good to note that any kind of touristy kind of things on the strip are going to be significantly more expensive on the strip than in Fremont. So it's worth it to just get away from the hype of the strip and go check out Fremont Street. You're going to come across a whole bunch of people, whether on the strip, in the malls, in the casinos. You're gonna come across a lot of people that try to pull you aside and tell you about this great deal, or can you pay for this wrapped CD, all the way to skincare people in the kiosks at the mall pulling you aside, trying to rope you into spending like $200-300 on skincare products that you don't need. And you're gonna have people in the casinos pulling you aside and saying, hey, how long are you in town for? That is the number one thing you gotta listen for, is how long are you in town for? Do not get roped into anyone trying to pull you off to the side to talk to you about anything. Don't. You know what I do, and I feel like such a jerk when I do this, is I do not engage. I just keep looking straight ahead and I ignore them. And as bad of a person as I feel doing that, I've been roped in so many times, you know, spending $20-30 here. What we do is we respond to the people saying, hey, how long are you in town for? We just say we're leaving tonight. And then they go, oh, okay. And then they leave us alone. Because what they're trying to do is rope you into things. Just keep looking ahead. They're just trying to take your money. And that's one unfortunate part of Vegas that is a real downfall, is people will try and stop you on every block trying to get you to give them money. And the first few times we went, we totally got roped into it. So don't be afraid to say no and just keep walking ahead. Now that brings me into the next money saving situation. You're gonna have a lot of people stopping you in the streets to talk about clubbing. This is a big thing. Now, you know those promoter guys, the club promoter guys that stand on the strip? If you haven't been there, they literally stand on the strip in front of the casinos, try and stop you and tell you to buy VIP tickets here, free drinks here. Here is a Scam City documentary down below linked for you to watch, because these are just random people that buy bulk tickets from the club, and they're just printed tickets. A lot of them are meaningless, and they just sell them to you for $20 or $30. They take that money and they go, where that ticket doesn't have anything to do with the club and they don't acknowledge it. So that's happened to us a few times, where we bought VIP tickets for like excess and everything like that, and then we show up at the door and they're like, this has nothing to do with us. So, you know, keep that in mind. There's going to be a lot of people pulling you off to the side, trying to rip you off in terms of nightclubs. Now, what you can do is you can phone the nightclub directly. The nightclubs actually have people standing there during daytime hours, taking your name, taking your information of how many people are coming with you. Don't get sucked into the people on the Strip trying to make you pay them. Go into the hotel directly with the nightclub that you want to go to. They actually have people standing outside taking your information and your money. So the next thing, piggybacking on that, is show tickets. Show tickets, oh my goodness, you guys. Again, there's going to be people on the street trying to rope you in to buy show tickets. There's these little booths that are called like cheap ticket sales. There's one at Fashion Show Mall and there's one out front of the M&M factory on the Strip. They're not necessarily the cheap tickets. What they do is they buy wholesale tickets off the hotels and then they will sell them for ever so slightly lower price than the actual show would sell them to you. They will charge you service fees. They're going to charge you all of these additional charges. By the time you're done paying for the tickets, you're paying pretty much the same price as anyone else who went up to the actual show box office and bought the tickets there. Just go to the hotel directly, go to the box office of the show that you want to go to and buy your ticket there. And my last big tip is myVegas. Now, this is such a fun game. I think I pretty much only have Facebook now so that I can play myVegas slots. Now, this just started up a couple years ago and it's a casino style kind of game where you use like fake money basically to accumulate loyalty points. So what's great about myVegas is that you can get loyalty points and actually spend them on real things in Vegas. For example, you can get free buffets, free dinners for two, you can get free nights at hotels. It's really, really great. So if you haven't signed up for myVegas, it's really fun and you just play it a little bit every day to kind of get your points up and then you can use those loyalty points to buy things in Vegas. Alright guys, so those were my tips for traveling to Las Vegas. If you have any questions, please put them down below. I'm more than happy to help answer anything that you have to ask. I've got all of the booking information down below that I utilize for our trips and that's it. So make sure to follow me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you so much for watching and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and give this video a big thumbs up if you really found it helpful. It helps me out and I hope I can help you out. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!